Hi everyone and welcome to today's General Hospital recap. As always, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos or recaps. So I wasn't on yesterday because the news cut in about 17 minutes in for a good reason. So obviously I had none of the episode to talk about, but I have all of today's. I just have a quick thought from yesterday's episode that I want to share with you. So he's Jake Doe. It's a made-up name. It means exactly what we all think it means, except for the Jake part, but you know. So wouldn't it make more sense for Jake to maybe take Elizabeth's name? Because that's an actual name and she has her kids already and they're Webbers. So wouldn't it make sense for him to become Jake Weber instead of her becoming Mrs. Doe? Just a thought I had, and also my friend also suggested, or they just keep their respective names. It makes no sense to me that she would change her last name to Doe. But that's all I have to say about that. What do you think? And let's get to today's General Hospital recap. So at Elizabeth's, Jake and all the boys are football players, and little Jake is not used to Halloween. Doesn't really know it. He's kind of afraid that one of the neighbors is gonna hurt him, and Jake talks to him and says, "Oh no, it's not like that." And then Elizabeth comes home. They return from trick-or-treating. They go out. They return from trick-or-treating. It takes them about 2 seconds. And little Jake calls Jake dad again, and Cameron says something to him about it. And little Jake has an attitude with Cam, and then gets an attitude with Elizabeth. So, the boys go upstairs to, I don't know, think about their candy. I don't know why they go upstairs. And Elizabeth brings up an idea to Jake, obviously, adult Jake. So, since Cam and Jake's fathers are gone, they're just gone, would Jake consider adopting them as his own? And I literally had to pause the show, and I had a few things to say. I put the show back on. But it was mostly, yeah, exactly. And it was mostly be please. I just said it 500 times because I was taken aback. Honestly taken aback. But apparently Jake's been thinking about it himself. Go figure, because he's a really good person who doesn't deserve this. So Jake leaves to get more candy, and Liz brings it up to Cam and Jake about Jake adopting them. They're really excited, even though little Jake's like, I don't need him now because he's already my father. Well, why am I mocking him? He knows. I'm not. But he kind of has an attitude about it. I don't blame him. He's been lied to more now. It's just really sad. Anyway, so at Patrick's place, Sam, Patrick, and Emma and Danny all have kind of coordinated costumes. Emma is Eevie. Who's Eevie? I'm totally out of the loop when it comes to little kid stuff. Sam is Eevie's mother, who looks like the evil queen from Snow White. And Patrick and Danny are doctors. Spinelli's working on Jake's identity. Also, he's in charge of handing out candy to the trick-or-treaters. So Maxie shows up at the house after everyone but Spinelli leaves. Ellie, too many people. So Ellie told Maxie that Spinelli was in Port Charles. So they're able to talk about... I can't. There's too many names that sound familiar. So Spinelli and Maxie, I think it's really nice they're able to talk about their respective relationships together. That's nice. I also think that Spinelli should have brought Georgie so that Maxie could have spent time with her, but I've said that before. They Skype briefly with Georgie, and Spinelli had a present for Maxie. It's a book on Cleopatra. By the way, Maxie's dressed up as Cleopatra. Patrick and Sam and the kids return. They're happy to see Maxie. Patrick and Emma head out for a few last bits of trick-or-treating. Jake, what are you doing? And mainly to go to Cameron's house, aka Elizabeth's. And Maxie starts to head out too, but before she does, she spills coffee on the laptop that's running the Jake identity software. And Spinelli calls it an unmitigated disaster. And I'm like, just what we want to hear, a week before the reveal. Hopefully. So they're blow drying the laptop. Jake shows up, sees Danny, and then Spinelli tells him the bad news about the laptop and that they're not sure if it's going to pull through. Back at Elizabeth's, Patrick and Emma arrive, and Patrick sees the sign Liz made up with the Mr. and Mrs. Doe. And how she's so happy that Jake stopped looking for who he is, and Patrick is in a really bad position now because he knows different, and this is why Sam was keeping you out of her business. Anyway, at the Haunted Star, Dylan's real I can't remember what they're calling it. I have to Google it so I pronounce it right, but you know what I mean. His reels accepted into like this festival, and they want to screen the final product when it's ready. And Dylan and Lulu hug because they're excited, but then she turns away. And Dylan's like, "What, are we not gonna be friends?" And she's like, "No." And then Paul shows up. Paul tells him not to accept defeat, and Dylan's like, "But she doesn't want me." And Paul's like, "It doesn't matter. You don't accept defeat." And I'm like, women aren't games that you win. Just sitting here on my couch, just like wanting to claw his eyes out, you know? Because Dylan's actually a pretty decent dude. And I really don't want to see him like get turned or whatever, you know? So Andy, you know Andy, the film student, I can't even talk. I don't do this for a day and see what happens. So Andy's watching his behind the scenes stuff, and he sees the Dante and I slept together scene. And Lulu walks in. Andy leaves the laptop open, and Lulu's there alone, and you're just like on the edge of your seat. But then Andy and Valerie kind of meet in the hallway. It's awkward because now Andy knows all this information about like almost total strangers. So Valerie goes into the room. Her and Lulu have a good talk. They're actually getting close, which is going to make this whole thing even more devastating when it happens. So Andy wants to show Dylan the behind-the-scenes footage. Dylan's like, "I don't have time." And Andy's like, "No, you have to see it." So Andy and Dylan come in to see the footage, and the whole thing gets sidetracked with Lulu and Valerie there. Because Valerie was like talking Dylan up and being like, "But you guys have such a good history. One thing shouldn't like X-nay all that out." And Lulu really took that to heart. So Valerie leaves with Andy so Lulu and Dylan can talk. And meanwhile, nobody is looking at this footage. So Lulu accepts him back as a friend, but if he crosses the line again, it's done. And she sees the laptop screen with Valerie and Dylan. This can't end well. Maxie asks Tracy for money for the film. Tracy wants like a producer credit and like a small say in the final cut. And Maxie's like, "I guess," which I don't think she has like control to do that, but whatever. At the art gallery, Ava mistakes someone else for Kiki, and Ava calls Kiki begging her to testify on her behalf. Tracy shows up. She wants to get a painting for Paul because Ava apparently is the only art dealer that's showing this artist's work. Tracy's on Team Sunny when it comes to the custody thing, and she like totally ripped Ava apart as like a mother, if you can really call her that. I mean, she's beyond, yeah. I mean, I don't like the character of Ava personally, but like I think I'm pretty justified in that. So Paul shows up because things are not awkward enough, and he covers that he's also looking for art like from this artist for his office. So perfect, right? So Tracy leaves because she's like, "Well, I can't buy from Ava anyway. I wanted to do something nice, but I just can't bring myself to do it anymore." Oh, this might be before she went to the Haunted Star. Oh yeah, she goes to the Haunted Star after this whole thing, so keep that in mind. So Ava gets a message from her lawyer that Kiki contacted him, and under no circumstances will she testify on her behalf. Ava like has this total breakdown, which you can't blame her for. And then Paul promises everything will be okay and kisses her. Like, oh my god. What? I can't. At the hospital, Dante visits Sunny. They talk about Leo and the doubts he's having about being a godfather. Dante tells Sunny he betrayed Lulu and that he slept with Valerie because as far as Sunny knew, Dante had just kissed Valerie. So basically, Dante feels that he made Lulu take this leap of faith to have a family and, you know, all this stuff that like in the past like disappointed her, like, and that, you know, she didn't want to then disappoint if she had a family. So Dante like made her take this leap of faith with him and got her trust, and now he feels he like blew it out of the water. And Sunny tells Dante to come clean because if she hears it from anyone else, there's no coming back from it. Like he has to be the one to tell her. And I said that right in the beginning, but now so much time has passed, it's going to be less about the whole cheating and more about the whole lies and all the people that knew, and you feel like you're a fool. Like, it's just, oh, I would just like hide under a pillow if I were Lulu after this whole thing comes out. End scene. Okay, so Patrick's like, well, he's talking to Elizabeth about the sign, or, you know, about Jake, look, he doesn't tell Elizabeth that Jake is still looking for his identity, but he's trying to like make a case for it, and he's like, well, he's just trying to make sure he's good enough for you. And then he and Emma leave. Oh, Cameron made Emma like an origami thing or something. So Sam and Spinelli have recovered everything off the laptop, and it can run the Jake identity program, and that's good news. That's just really good news. Could this all happen for Halloween? Like, I thought it would happen at the wedding, but could this happen for Halloween? I don't know. So Jake gets a message on his phone from an unknown number. We're coming for you. And I was like, ooh. And then I was like, oh, it's probably just a bachelor party thing because the timing lines up. So it's good. And Lulu's like, oh my God, is this like the behind the scenes video or whatever happens? And she's like, let's watch it. And she's like, going to press the button. So will she see it? Will she find out now privately? Will they get interrupted? Will the thing be impromptu shown at the party in front of hundreds of people? So many things could happen. I'm so excited. But not really, because my favorite couple's about to blow up and they might not come back from it. Ugh. I think I'm going to be in for a lot of heartbreak, so I better enjoy the Jason reveal. And one more thing, Dante apologized to Sunny for judging him so hard, and Dante's decided that he's going to tell Lulu everything after the party. But I have a sneaking suspicion that's going to be too late. Well, that is it for today's General Hospital recap. If you liked today's video, please give it a thumbs up. It would mean so, so much. And speaking of, like, raising funds and getting stuff like that, we are raising money to save our animal sanctuary. The link is in the description, and it would mean so, so much if you could donate. And if you can't donate, if you could share the link, it would mean a lot. And I will see you tomorrow for more General Hospital. It's tomorrow, Friday. Oh my goodness, tomorrow's Friday, isn't it? We're just going to check that real fast. Oh my goodness, tomorrow's going to be ridiculous. I'm excited. Are you excited? Oh, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Okay, let me get this up so you can see it. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.